Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome to episode 19 of the Council Forcecast. A little bit delayed again, but we'll get better with that, I promise. I'm Ready For. This is Evan Nova.
Hello.
And Antoine Bandelay.
What's up, y'all?
And today we're talking about the Rogue One teaser trailer. So again, we'll open with opening thoughts, I guess. What did you guys think of it?
Opening thoughts, man. I'm probably more interested in this. I always was. Like back when I went to Star Wars Celebration, when I first saw the teaser, like no one went to the panel, by the way. Like I think it was on a Sunday or something like that. I can't remember what day it was, but it was like everybody went to the Force Awakens panel, of course, but no one went to the Rogue One. And I really liked what Gareth Edwards was saying about it. Like he was saying that his main theme was that God is no longer here to save us. Like the Jedi are gone. There's only the regular beings of the world have to like save themselves. So I thought that was very interesting, and I like getting this spin-off look into the non-Skywalker saga and everything I've seen so far. I mean, of course, just this teaser is very small, but I liked what I saw so far.
Okay, Evan?
I'm very much in that same line of thinking. I think I'm super hyped for this movie, a lot more so than I am for than I was for The Force Awakens. I really like what I'm seeing. You definitely get that same theme that Antoine was talking about the whole gods and the Jedi no longer being around, even in this teaser. So I really do hope that a lot of the themes we've seen just in this little bit carry over to the movie, because if they do, then this movie is going to be very good, in my opinion.
So that's all three of us then. We all three preferred the Rogue One sort of approach than the Force Awakens one, because I'm the same way. I saw this. I saw the sort of general idea of it. I saw the initial teaser, and I was like, "This is going to be awesome." There's a lot less they can get wrong for one, but it's also an interesting time period that, while it didn't really need to be covered, and that's why it hasn't been in like it's still something that could be good if they do it right. And from what they've shown, again, it's just a teaser, but from what they've shown, it looks wonderful. Somehow even more grounded in the kind of realistic, gritty feel than the Force Awakens trailers did, in terms of the special effects and stuff. But we'll get on to that in a minute. But yeah, I'm hyped for it. I'm really looking forward to this one. So should we start with sort of the opening shots?
Yeah, so first we start off with our new character. I actually finally got a confirmation on her name. It's Jyn Erso, like the spelling and everything. It's Jyn space ERSO, which is our new main protagonist, who people are already calling him Mary Sue, and that's really pissing me off because she has done nothing to earn that title.
Precisely,
and
she's done
just to be like,
whatsoever.
she's a woman, she's in a war movie.
She's only existed for like a few weeks, people. Come on.
Yeah, Rey, yes. Her, we have no idea. Like, even if she is one, fair enough, but we have no clue right now.
We don't know.
It's uncalled.
Save the judgment, people. Come on.
Yeah. But I like that. I like seeing the honor guard her with her and everything. It's pretty good.
Yeah. From what I saw of her initially, I was like, eh. And then she had that one I rebel line, which made me want to punch her in the face.
What? You want to punch her? I thought that was a really good line. That was
because
a good,
she looks like a petulant child talking to Mon Mothma. Although that may not be what she's like when she actually says it.
I like that. I like that.
She doesn't give a crap. She does what she wants. Yeah.
I don't know. Mon Mothma. I mean, she'd be like,
she doesn't know who
Mon Mothma is. It's like, no.
Had some little kid off the street come off and like see like, I don't know, some terrorist person who they don't know, like they don't care. They're like, oh, I'm actually a rebel and you're not. Like, what are you guys doing? You know, like
it depends how they do it. But from the way I got it, it felt to me is that she was sort of smirking at it. That may not be what she smirked at. Obviously, it could just be edited.
Oh, you mean Mon
Mothma going? It's like, really? No, you would be slapping this person in the face for not taking it seriously enough and not understanding the risk.
I think she's a pretty sweet lady. I think she would kind of do that. Very. Do you guys watch House of Cards?
No.
A little bit.
Are you familiar with it? Because I know it's from your country originally. The House of Cards, the story.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a character on there. Her name's Claire Underwood, and she does that kind of thing where she puts on a face like where if she wants to be pissed off, she actually smiles. You know, it's like a political thing. I think that works for Mon. Like, I don't think she would be like, you respect your elders. I think she would be.
No,
like
I don't mean like that, but I just mean that she would be like, many Bothans died to bring us this information. She's
the second Death Star.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. But I'm saying that she's the sobering type. If you don't take things seriously in front of her, she's going to sober you the hell up. And obviously, this isn't Jin's fault.
Which she should still do in the movie.
To me, again, it could be the way it's shot. It may not be anything. She may not even be smirking at that.
It could be out of context.
But I'm just saying that with her saying that I rebel. It's like, what's wrong with that? It's like, oh, for God's sake, you're talking to one of the greatest women in the galaxy. You may not be aware of that, but you are. It's making you want
I
to
think
punch
it's
him.
actually a good criticism to have of the character, but I don't think it's something wrong with the movie itself. I think it's like a criticism on the character.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's what she needs to learn. She needs to learn
I didn't.
respect.
Sorry, I didn't. I framed it wrong. I didn't mean it as like a "this is terrible." I just meant that may put
The
me
character
off her.
is like,
yeah, that's
"Oh, what are you
put me
doing?"
off her in this trailer. It's like, oh, don't be like that. Be a petulant child.
For all we know, the next scene could just be Mon Mothma smacking her upside the head.
I know,
would love
right?
that. But other than that, I don't have any problem with it. I don't get why people dislike her.
Me
For the
neither.
Mary Sue side of things, it's just stupid.
Because people are just like to look for stuff to hate. Let's be honest.
Yeah. What was the next big significant show? I can't remember.
It was the whole thing basically we just talked about. Actually, the whole,
Yeah.
Looks
Well, and
wonderful.
also the setup of the mission.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, what this movie's about.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Evan. Let people know what the movie's about. The mission.
Okay. Basically, as most people know, this mission is about how the original Death Star plans were stolen and carried over into A New Hope. It's pretty much that's this sort of, which I find it interesting because this is actually a part in the Star Wars timeline that even in Legends was never actually heavily covered. Like we get little tidbits here and there about how the plans were stolen, but we've never really had a full-on story centered about it. Even though we do get one for the second Death Star, Shattered Empire, back in the EU, about how the plans for the second Death Star were stolen. But they've never really covered heavily how they were stolen for the first Death Star, and I find it ironic that in 30 years of not having a story, we finally get one in the form of a movie. So
Right.
things just have an interesting way of working out in that regard, I think.
It's funny as well because taking a single line and making a movie out of it is the sort of thing that
Yeah.
Legends is known for, and now they're doing it for this, which is nice.
But it took them this long, which I find interesting.
Yeah, it was just a case of it was a story that didn't need telling, therefore it wasn't. But it's good that.
But they bothered to tell it with the next Death Star. That's it. Again, Shattered.
It's interesting to see what they're going to do with this.
But yeah,
I
how
like the-
Death Star plans were
the-
stolen.
The little droid they have with them, it's different kind of droid. I think it might be an assassin droid. That's the reason why it looks
Yeah,
as
look
tall as it
very
does.
Tall, gangly kind of.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't make him an HK-47 ripoff.
Well, they've done
they
that
might.
already a bunch of times. Have you seen?
I know.
Have you been reading the new Star Wars comics?
Yeah.
What was it? 000? I think is
Yeah.
the C-3PO HK-47. He's got the same humor and everything.
Even talks like him and everything. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they also
Sounds
have that with
rebels.
another assassin droid too. In what novel was that recently? And I think they're just making that like the programming for
Well, yeah.
assassin droids. You know what I mean? Like that's just the programming.
But when you do that, you kind of lose HK's flavor a bit, you know?
Cynical
Yeah.
smartass that wants to kill
Yeah.
you. It's basically, apparently, that's their programming default.
Yeah. Kind of
Which in the
odd.
universe wouldn't make sense. Like the
Well,
program is
yeah,
program.
to be
Yeah.
fair.
I know, but you know. Again,
Um,
the individuality.
What else?
But like you were saying before, the effects. I like that they're continuing with the practical, approach where they have
Looks
like
great.
the stormtrooper explosion. It looks very much the same as like the Takodana fight and stormtroopers flying in the air and stuff like that.
The armor and all that.
Yeah. Oh, and I like that it's kind of like a Star Wars period piece. So now we've got like our old stormtrooper.
Yeah.
armor.
Yeah.
And
We
I
don't have
love
the
the new
first
design for
soldiers.
those Dark Troopers.
Dark Troopers,
That
yes.
I wish was the new design for the
The First Order.
First Order. That's how memorable they are.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they had like a black and red
it's-
trim.
It's sharp. It's cruel.
Instead
It's
of
like
white.
it's a really good way to take them. I loved it. And again, it looks real. It's just that looks like a helmet that would be designed by the Empire. The whole trailer felt very real, even more so than The Force Awakens did, because that was one of the things that they definitely got right before.
The one thing that I made, again, this is just a teaser, so maybe we're not getting it. They did also kind of preface it as being like a war movie, but I haven't really seen any like straight up battles, except for maybe like that last shot. But I was hoping to see like more, like, especially because all the people behind the scenes, like we have like people from Black Hawk Down, Saving Private Ryan, all that on this movie. So I was thinking more like that, like seeing like a lot of soldiers. But I guess since this is more about a heist, it's going to be a little bit more small scale than what I initially thought it would be.
That's what I thought after watching it. I thought, yeah, I didn't get the war vibe at all.
Right.
But they could also be saving that for the film, which would be smart.
Yeah, you don't want to
Correct.
play all your cards at once with these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, you were definitely right that the trailer didn't give off that vibe in the slightest. It felt much more kind of bland, basic Star Wars style. And I was looking forward to the war film kind of I don't know, feel and aesthetic. But if they're just saving that for the film, that's fine. I really hope they don't lean on the heist side, because one of my favorite shot on the entire thing actually is the running towards the AT-ATs.
Right.
Oh, it looked amazing. I just felt like, yes, this is real war, Star Wars style, which is great.
Yeah, I think so too. I like that Death Star.
Oh, the scene with the Death Star with the
construction.
laser getting put in. Oh,
Yeah,
that was one of
that's
my
an
favorite
amazing
shots.
shot. And the
Looked
freaking
great.
Star Destroyer looks like a straight up model.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been
Like-
for all we know. I mean, it
Oh,
could
they
have been.
stopped. ILM stopped using models. Like I think in 2007 or something like that, somewhat recently. But they did a bang up job. That looks like it just feels right.
The
It's
shadow
like
moving in too. It's like,
yeah.
It
Great.
does look amazing. You know they're going to lean on that shot for everything now, though. That's going to be like the Death Star
Probably.
shot for the next 10 years.
I wouldn't be surprised if that is the opening of the film.
I wouldn't.
Like
either.
That would be kind of
after the call,
Okay.
you
Although I
see
think
the-
Although they wouldn't blow it on the trailer if that was the case.
Yeah,
Actually, yeah.
I don't know if they do it so soon, but like that would be kind of cool if that's like this is what the story's about.
yeah.
Something.
It'd be kind of like, what else would they open with, really, if that's not the opener when you think about it?
Well, they said they might be doing away with for the stories. They might be doing away with the typical.
Yeah.
Crawls.
That
But,
would
I mean,
make sense. Actually.
they don't know
'Cause it
for
could get
sure
old
yet,
with the amount of films they're going to be pumping out from now on. It could
Right.
get old quickly,
Right.
or not get old, but diminish the kind of impact of it if they don't do
Still,
it past the main.
Even if they don't do the crawl, that would still be a great opening.
I know, just in space and like what?
Oh,
the hell is
they've got to do
this?
the crawl. I thought you meant the opening shot. Sorry for the space shot. They can't not. They're not going to get rid of the crawl, are they?
They're debating.
It'd be
It
very
might
weird if
be like Star Wars Rebels or Clone Wars, like in sense that it might be like a shorter title, but they haven't decided yet, so we don't know.
We'll find out.
Oh, I wouldn't like
So-
that. I thought you meant just the opening space shot. Sorry. Oh, damn. We'll see.
We'll see.
Put it
They
in
need.
the-
I think they need the crawl too. I personally think a crawl would be
Yeah.
better.
Again, if that's not the opening, I'm going to be very surprised what they do, because that's pretty perfect, if you ask me. But whatever.
It's
We
just
have
guys
some
that we've
new
already seen, that's all,
characters
so it'd have to be
too.
different angle.
Like we have the gentleman, the younger guy who was looking at Jin, and this older guy
Yes,
who is
looking very
I forget
hungry.
what that insignia means. Like if you have 5 dots on your plate.
Oh, he's a high admiral, right, Evan?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I actually grabbed it and I actually compared it to the other rankings, and he's ranked as a high admiral, not a grand admiral, but he's a
Okay.
notch below that. He's
I think
a
he's a new character. I've never seen him before.
well, maybe he could be the same admiral from Aftermath. That's what my thoughts were.
Oh, you're thinking about the Imperial one. Oh, okay, that
Yeah,
could
at the
be it
end.
too. I was talking about Rebel still.
I
Oh.
know what I mean.
I thought you were.
It's the old white guy. I don't know what other descriptors. He's like Jim's talking like he says can you do that, and she's like yeah, or something like that. He's got green eyes I think, or blue eyes, I can't tell. I don't know. It's at minute 53.
Minute 53. Bear with us, people. Oh,
Nondescript.
yeah. He
guy. I
reminds
don't
me
know
of
who
someone
he
a
is.
lot,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure who he reminds me of.
Not sure.
I'm pretty sure he's new though. I'm not very familiar.
Oh, I don't think we've seen him before.
Okay, cool. Because
We
I was
haven't
like,
seen
I
a
don't
lot.
know.
I don't think we've seen a lot of these people before.
I
That's true. That's true.
I know it sounds like a really nitpicky thing, but I really hope he's the one that gives them the mission, because I don't like the idea of Mon Mothma
Right.
being the one that does anything other than the pep talk, because she's not
I
military.
agree.
She's
She's
wouldn't
not.
want
She's
to be.
very distinctly non-military.
Yeah, it's like
Kind of for a role.
you are beacons of hope for this new rebellion. You must be our spark. Like, please be successful. Go, may the force be with you. La da da. Here, let me hand you over to the person who's going to give you the briefing. That's what I want
Akbar,
it to be.
take it away.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
She does that in the sixth film. She's not military. It's not her style.
Yeah, no.
It's not her place,
But yeah, I guess
really.
we let's talk about the Imperial guy. Now I don't know what the white cloak denotes now, because before it used to denote
Grand Admiral
ISB.
status. And
Well,
ISB.
yeah.
Because they're the things on the side differentiate
Yeah.
the capes.
I don't know
But
what's gonna be here.
like I said, his insignia is that of a high admiral, so he's not a grand admiral like some people are saying, because grand admirals have the 3 red, 3 yellow, then the 6 blue, whereas
Again,
this guy is
that's
just red.
taken from Legends, so they could really make up whatever the hell they want, unfortunately. But I'd be inclined to agree.
They usually take
Yeah,
the one thing they do take from Legends, oddly enough, is the little tidbits like that. versus
that's
like
true.
the character arcs in the story.
I know, right?
Like
The stuff
that's
they
a whole
can't be
other
asked to make
discussion
up
for something
again.
else. But
But
yeah,
I love the shot though.
yeah. Oh
It's
my
kind of
god, that
calculated
amazing.
and sinister, which is I think is an excellent shot for him, or for what they seem to be setting him up as a character. And he's holding a pistol, which is completely out of place, but probably has a purpose.
I think
Yeah.
that looks boss.
Oh, it does
He
look
looks
awesome, but I
great.
mean,
He looks great
if he's
if you ask
actually
me,
in the room
yeah.
there, why would he be holding a pistol? So it adds to
Intimidation, you know.
unless he's just posing
It's
for a
probably-
photo shoot. There's no real
And
reason
just
unless it's
it cuts
someone
back
no
and
one's
there's
seen.
someone's painting him.
I know.
Make
like,
sure
sir-
you see my sinister side.
But later in the trailer, we see him in the trenches. Like, I mean, he's obviously not fighting, but like he's there after the battle.
Surveying, his
He gets his hands dirty a little bit, I would think.
Boots
Yeah,
on
that's
the
what they're
ground kind of
indicating.
guy.
And I mean, I honestly think he could very well be the same Admiral from Aftermath. Personally, that could be a possibility.
Are you referring to the one that was trying to take control?
At the very end of Aftermath, where you have Rey.
Oh, right.
She's
I had
talking
thought
to-
that was going to be Thrawn, but I don't know if that's actually going to be Thrawn.
Well, he's referred to in the book as Admiral, and they don't.
Right. That could work.
Yeah.
That
Set him up in here, and maybe what happens here could allude to how he survived. Episode 6, in a sense.
Right. Because I think so far, the new EU, I think, is still being kind of treated as the EU. Like people are saying, like it's this new thing. I think it's just a continuation of the expanded universe in the sense that there hasn't yet been anything that's informed the movies in terms of what's come from like the books and the comics yet. I think it's been the other way around, where like the comics and the books so far and the canon have just been like kind of adapting from whatever like has been, even with Rebels, like they didn't put the cross guard thing in there until after the movie came out, that sort of thing,
Right.
versus it being the other way around, like, oh hey, this happened already in this form of media, let's put that in the movie. I hope that changes, but so far I feel like that hasn't been the case. Now it'd be great if they do that.
I doubt it will
Yeah,
because the whole
that's what I mean.
spoiler thing.
They had Aftermath, so
Right.
Well, they definitely should, because the whole point of having the EU or wanting it that way, because the EU then gets sold more. But they probably won't, because it means that the spoilers come out. So people will be like, oh, there, look at this. This might be in the film. 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 And then everything they want to put in the film is revealed to the public because of the internet.
Right.
Which is one of the reasons they got rid of the EU in the first place, wasn't it? So that they could tell new stories and not have everyone be telling people what's going to happen. So I doubt they'll take it that route, unless it's very minor, like unimportant things.
But I wanted to see it happen. I want to see the
I
movies
wanna
and
see
like
it, yeah.
the other ones, like feel like one.
Yeah, but they won't. I don't think.
We'll see.
We can.
And we have tanks now.
Yes,
Where are the
tanks.
tanks? I missed the
Rubber tanks. I don't know. I think it's on the wheels though.
Oh, I see.
Doing what tanks do.
And Forrest Whitaker with really, really big armor. I think they're all. Well, I think the whole mission is that they're hiring these mercenaries to do the heist. So that's why we have all these we have the whole Donnie Yen blind guy, and her, and for the Forrest Whitaker character.
Seems like an odd decision. Hire a bunch of people that
Yeah,
will quit
that
the
seems
first
like
time they
It is.
can.
It is. Yeah.
If things get rough. I mean, it feels very unrebellion for something so critical. I mean, unless they have to. I don't know. We don't know the circumstances, but so it looks interesting. What do you think of the characters we're seeing? Because I felt when they released that first sort of team shot, I thought, because everything we'd heard about it beforehand, it didn't seem to ring true at all in that first shot.
You're talking about the steel.
Where they're
You're
sort
talking
of
about the
sitting
steel,
around.
right?
Yeah.
The photo steel is
Yeah.
what you're referring to?
Yeah, that one where that pan shot where you have all of them sitting and
Yeah.
that,
I was like, is that war film? No, I'm not getting war film from that. I'm getting superhero.
Right,
film,
exactly,
Which isn't
yeah.
what you want to be getting from them.
I think it's going to be more high speed. Like, even if we look at this little subway, which is kind of cool, we get like a subway station kind of thing. And I kind of like that in the sense that we get to see more of
underground.
the worlds,
Yeah.
and like what happens in the day-to-day worlds. Like, it's cool seeing a subway. Like, as small as that is, I think that actually goes a long way, which is even like, yeah, people live.
Sense of realism.
So
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things I was missing in Force Awakens versus like the prequels. Like in the prequels, you always got like little tidbits of what people were doing in their life. Like especially, I think Attack of the Clones, like the beginning sequence when they're on Coruscant, you see what people are doing just like in their day to day. Like, and them doing this, I think is really nice. But yeah, what my original point with this is that it looks like very heisty, like all the stuff, like them running with their droids like that.
Which makes sense for the premise. I just really hope they don't take the tone that way as well.
They play the music from the Pink Panther as they're in the shaft of the Death Star.
Yeah, it would be off. Am I being dim? Where was the subway?
It was when they're the droid and the new guy.
Oh,
when they're running.
I didn't get the feeling that was a subway. I thought more military base or even the Death Star maybe.
It could be military base, but
odd about the troops to be on a subway.
Oh, you know what? That might not be a subway.
It doesn't
because
look
on
like
the right, I thought
things
that was
trains
a. Yeah, it looked like just doors. Yeah, I think they're just in a base. I just think that way because I live in LA and the metro system. It looks exactly like that. The metro system.
It may be. I mean, they could just be really square trains, but I didn't get that feel.
No. Now I'm looking at it. It's like, yeah, that's not actually a train. That's like, it's just a wall.
And again, it'd be really weird to have that many troops. Even if they've chased them into it, why are they all running like Benny Hill style instead of just cutting them off on the other end or whatever? But,
a train door just opens and they all just swarm out.
Doing that waiting like elevator music shot of those sort of. And it cuts to the door opening, and they all run back out again. Yeah, I could see them doing that. I hope they don't. The next shot was pretty cool, though, if I recall.
Cool.
Yes, the samurai imp kind of looking person.
Yeah.
Imp as in Imperial, not imp as in fantasy creature.
This is Donnie Yen. He's like basically this era's Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, Jet Li.
Yeah.
Type.
Which again, I really hope they don't take that kind of route. Like, oh yeah, this is the stereotypical martial art expert.
Yeah.
It
makes you wonder. It makes you wonder what his occupation is.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine because they have another dude in here who's just a mercenary, another Asian guy, another Chinese actor, the guy who's like running at the end with his gun.
Right.
I thought it was kind of weird how he's running with his gun because like the gun was like moving so much. But Donnie Yen is like, if you bring him onto a movie, that's the reason why you kind of bring him in.
I get the feeling that's a training scene as well, or something similar, because there's a stormtrooper in the background just facing the other direction. So it doesn't. I don't feel like they're arresting him or it's like a battle scene.
Oh yeah. Well, I think this character is blind, so I don't think they even suspect him really, like because that's what he's just walking in. He's like, I'm just a blind man, blah blah blah. And like
classic.
Yeah, basically kills him off, or not kills him off, but incapacitates him at least, and moves on with his day.
I can't see a thing in this helmet. How do you think I feel?
Oh god, all the Toph references. Oh, I love that. Gee.
I wonder what planet this is. I mean,
looks tropical.
It's tropical. Yeah. So you got your sand and your like palm trees. This might be where the final heist happens, possibly, because of the admiral guy was there as well.
Because in like the first, like way back when we got that teaser footage, you see that ship's going on that forest planet into the Death Star, and so
this is the final construction place of the Death Star. It seems.
The big shot we need to talk about though is that mysterious hooded man walking into it.
Yes, and I was talking to Callan about this yesterday. That's very confusing because it's clear, like you have those red guards on the side of just kind of this cylinder. And then you have some hooded being, not Darth Vader. Some people were asking.
Vader.
Wrong figure. He doesn't wear a hood, etc., etc.
Yeah, no. I don't know why some people think he's Darth Vader. That's not Darth Vader. Maybe an Inquisitor of some sort. Maybe he's like the last Inquisitor after Rebels. I don't know. And but why would like the tube is just confusing? Like
I'm saying it's just Palps in the shower. He's like Luther.
That's what I'm thinking too. Is because the only reason the honor guards would be there is if Palpatine's around, and
exactly.
It could just be another thing that maybe is helping Palpatine like sustain life. We know he does experiments all the time.
Yeah. Or maybe like it's an artifact of some sort that Palpatine covets.
Yeah, maybe. It could be that. But it's like, who is this figure?
I don't know.
Could be anyone. I mean, it's probably just an Inquisitor or something similar. But
it would have to be, because if it's not Vader, I mean, who else?
They can't just like input somebody else, like another, like, oh, this is another dark side faction. It's like, what? No, stop putting so much in.
Star Killer.
Aha! Wow.
Oh, jeez.
That's what some people would want.
I do want to see Ian McDermott in the shower, though. That would be hilarious.
This is Palpatine coming out. It's Ian McDermott going like,
oh, what do you want? Ugh, 1 minute. Goes behind a curtain. You see a silhouette of him just going, okay, what do you want? I don't know why did that
Steam dripping off.
But I think it has to do with the Emperor, because that's the only reason the Royal Guards would be there.
Logical conclusion.
Have they been around for anything else, new EU wise?
No, I mean, even in the new EU, it's the Lords of the Sith. It was Imperial Guards were with Palpatine, and that was it.
That
So-
stuff.
So that's just something in Palpatine. And I mean, yes, I get how people might say would think Vader because that would make sense. Like maybe it's like Palpatine saying like, "Hey, get rid of those
He's kneeling
rebels, whatever." Yeah, and they're kneeling too. So like, oh yeah, the hooded figure definitely is not the Emperor himself because the Emperor kneels to absolutely no one.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Yeah. So it's someone who is submissive to the Emperor.
Yeah,
So-
which
Yeah,
But it'd be
I
weird
guess.
if it is the Emperor, though. I mean, what is he doing? Just standing in a stasis field? Like, I mean,
I know, right? That is
like-
so
he's frozen in there, just
oh, carbonite.
it like thaws out. It's like that'd be
Yeah,
weird.
it's bizarre. And then
What
the next,
is it?
it's curious. It's definitely the one that's got people talking the most, I think, or in terms of theories and whatnot.
Right, exactly.
Then the next shot, you've got armored guy, and then running a different armored guy, and then the awesome AT shots. So what do you guys
Yeah.
think of those?
Am I the only one who thinks that the AT-ATs look a little bit different than usual?
Yeah, they're a little thin.
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah,
said.
the faces is kind of a bit more streamlined, whereas opposed to the Empire Strikes Back, they're a bit more boxy.
Yeah.
And they also
That's
look
fine,
Which
cool
shorter.
design.
kind of made me think maybe they're going for their specially designed AT-ATs for that in jungle environment, maybe, perhaps.
They're doing that for the stormtroopers. You know,
Yeah,
they have the
I
different
would-
camo gear.
Even more all-terrain. But
Yeah.
they,
Yeah.
they do look smaller. But I love the look. They just look real
They look
and
great. They
sinister.
look great.
And again, the shot with them running and what looks like dual pistols, and just, it looks great. I love that entire shot.
Yeah,
Favorite of this trailer.
looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the AT-ATs look different, and it could.
Oh, yeah, they're
just-
definitely different, definitely.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like I think that was a conscious like in universe choice. Like, hey, militaries have different designs and things like that.
Of course,
Like,
of
they
course.
go through different iterations.
Yeah, which again goes back to the whole jungle all-terrain sort of thing.
Yeah.
That
Leading
water
on-
looks so good.
It does. The entire thing looks great.
Like, I wonder if they like had like they did that practically and they just comped it in, or if that is just digital water. Like,
You'd be surprised what they can do with just the digital side
I know
nowadays.
digital
I mean,
water is
It's,
pretty good
it's
nowadays.
insane. Yeah.
And
So
then
good.
finally we have the last
Finally,
shot. Which,
We have our protagonist looking at camera wearing Imperial gear, no less.
Yeah, you and I
Cheers.
had the same theory, didn't
Yeah.
didn't we?
Yeah, we
Evan.
did.
Evan,
Oh, you got
did
it
have the
too?
same theory as well?
Oh, were you talking? Which theory were we talking about? The one we were talking about yesterday, or a different one?
The one where we
The
really hope that
reimagining
she's
of
reimagining
RJ.
of Mara Jade.
Yeah, that's what we talked about yesterday.
Right. Sorry, I didn't realize you already had the theory as well. Yeah.
He wasn't sure if we all had the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Three-way
Yeah,
theory. Yeah, so I'm hoping she's going to be Rey's mother, Luke's partner, and
Possibly.
a restarting
Possibly.
Here's
of
the
Mara
sadness.
Jade.
Here's the sadness. Daisy Ridley was interviewed and she's like, I know who Rey's family is and it's not her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is she
Oh,
lying?
yeah.
Could she be lying?
She could be
a
lying, of
possibility,
course.
but
But
Wouldn't be the
that
first
has
time.
it has come out recently
Yeah.
where Ray or not Ray Daisy was like, I know who her parents are and it's not this lady.
That's annoying.
well, parents, maybe I don't know, aunt. Maybe she's her aunt.
I know, right?
Yeah, some distant relation, you know.
But yeah, the bigger
Um,
thing that really got me about this was the
Here.
dialogue that was going on with this image, and it was like
You do.
saying like the typical thing about like war, like what do you become of, or even when you fight in general, like how far do you take it, like and do you lose yourself within the scope of whatever means you're trying to get to. And like the allusion to her like being an Imperial gear with that dialogue is very elusive to that. And who knows what this means in the movie? Like maybe that's how she started and she defected, or she defects at the end, or like or she's just in this because they're infiltrating a base.
I get the feeling it's someone saying how you're going to break, you're going to stumble, you're going to break, and then you're going to fall to the enemy's side, and they're kind of doubting her, and then the whole thing will be, well, will she fall, and then you see
Right.
that in the film and say, oh, okay, she's betrayed them, and then it'll be a case of, has she betrayed them, has she not?
Yeah.
I bet that's what they do for the second half. Like have her be that kind of character, like
Especially how they're starting her off, where she's not really a rebel, like they just kind of brought her in and be like, oh, you're like good for the job because you do bad shit, know?
you rebel. So, oh, great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that could be her
reckon that's where
character
they're gonna
flaw, or
take
the
her.
character thing that she needs to overcome, and this could be part of it.
Maybe
But
just
But it
use
could
like a
just
positive
literally
team,
be like her like having the gear on, you know.
Yeah.
It could be. Yeah, it could just be a case of them infiltrating.
Sneaking through the base.
Yeah,
so,
trying to infiltrate or whatever. Yeah, but it could be anything. But from the tone of the trailer, it hinted to me that she was going to be the, double agent, triple agent.
Yeah, exactly.
That will she fall? Will she be broken by torture or whatever? I don't know.
Maybe it'll turn out like she was an agent the entire time or something.
Yeah, or something like that. I get the feeling that's what we're going to be getting from watching it. Like, is she traitor? Is she good? Is she betraying them? Is she double agent? Is she what? Who is she? And that kind of thing. I get the feeling they're going to play
What
it
are her
out.
motivations throughout?
Yeah.
It's like she's the one in the cloak kneeling at the tube.
I would not be surprised.
Cooler, because in that Mara Jadis.
I really hope that
just if she breaks out like a purple lightsaber at the end. Oh,
I don't think she'll have a lightsaber.
I think there's gonna be no lightsabers. I think they made a very good point. Well, except for possibly Vader, because Vader is supposed to be in this movie.
Oh, can you imagine if they did that kind of like a Jaws effect with Vader? I would love that in this, because we know how terrifying and dangerous Vader is, but maybe they don't or something. Like, and he's coming, you see coming down the corridor you see a cape shot of it blowing, and then like, what the hell was that? Or something unrelated or whatever. I just want that in the film to feel the terror of Vader through the
third
lens.
act.
Yeah.
I think that because I mean, as we know, like from the start of A New Hope, he was straight up chasing, like he was right on the tail of the plans.
Yeah.
So he's I think what does he say to his he says like they won't stop us this time. Yeah. We know when to stop us this time, specifically relating to
this time
heist. Yeah, exactly. So he has to be involved at some point. So I think he'll be like at the end, and he's probably gonna murk some people, and they're like, "Oh my God, get this to Leia!"
Yeah, just choking them with the lightsaber, and
they'll have like a last stand, like, "I'll hold them off."
Your only hope, and then.
Angry Joe had a cool thought. He was like, wouldn't it be so awesome if we had like this blind guy who's like fighting off all these guys, and he's like total badass, and he's killing stormtroopers left and right, and then he's like, I'll face Vader, and then he like is stomped in like 3 seconds, and it's like, that's exactly what
I was thinking. He would be the one that holds off Vader, and then
he even kills Donnie Yen.
I would not be surprised, and it would also be awesome if predictable.
Yes, like if all of a sudden you see
with a stick and it just snaps off.
I think that's what I'm excited about with this film. There's so much that they can do that will just be awesome by itself. Like with the big main trilogy films, they have to have it be substantial as well as awesome. There's not so much style over substance. You can't do it that way with this. But with here, you've got a bit more leeway to just go style over substance because it's not as significant in the story aspect. It's kind of just, let's watch this because it's Star Wars. And not in a bad way, but you know what I mean. Like, the story it's telling doesn't have to be grand. It can just be, okay, this is a story, and this is the wonderful experience you'll have watching it. Whereas with the main trilogy, it kind of has to be a lot more epic, a lot more grand, a lot more thematic and flowing, and all over the place.
About saving the galaxy. All this is about saving the galaxy too, but in a much smaller way.
It just, I feel like they can play with this one a lot more.
Yeah,
like character deaths, and not that necessarily make something better.
Right.
But character deaths, tension, things that
they have that leeway.
Yeah, because they can't do that with big main characters in the big trilogy because they need the main characters. Here, it's just a case of it's a different approach. I don't know.
Literally, everyone could die. Like they could literally last stand with Vader. And they're like, okay, we need to have Leia get off the planet and like just face Vader. Yeah.
I'm interested to see how the information gets to the Tantive 4.
Right. Yeah. How that happens.
We saw in the New Hope, Leia has that little disc and she puts in R2D2.
The disc will definitely be in the film. That's
of course
the case. But it's how that gets to the Tantive 4. Like, is it like the escape vehicle that they don't make it to, or is it like a separate thing where it gets to a different base and then they transfer it to them, and that's just a transport ship, or what? I mean, how immediately is that follow up from this film? Is it a few weeks, days, immediately, like the second?
Exactly. Like, is this film going to end minutes before? Well, probably not minutes, because I think they wouldn't show the whole taking off and all that stuff. But does it take hours or something?
Yeah. Last shot could be Tantive 4 going through, and maybe like there's a distance shot of like a Star Destroyer coming in or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which way I hope they take it in that regard. Like, I'm not sure whether I'd like it to be.
Where would you want it to end? Yeah.
I feel like if maybe a few days before, like they get it out and then it's off, and it's taking the rebels are sort of taking care of it, and that's where the urgency comes in. Because I mean, you've got enough urgency with the opening shot of A New Hope anyway. You don't need to have you don't need to start watching New Hope and then have this be like seconds in the past in your mind.
Right.
I want some space, literally and figuratively.
I want some space. Yeah, cool. And then the title's pretty cool. I kind of miss the old title they had, which is they call them anthologies. I thought that was a lot more classy than just.
Yeah.
But I get it.
A Star,
Like, a Star Wars
just
story
a
is much.
Star Wars story.
Yeah, it's more easy to consume if you say a Star Wars story. But
Yeah.
I like the anthologies. It sounded so much more like.
I
It sounded
agree.
cooler.
I'm not sure what. While I love the title,
It's more grammatically correct too.
definitely, yeah. While I love the title, I'm not sure why it's called Rogue One, or at least I kind of guess why it's called Rogue One. But the Rogues are a squadron. You know, I don't want this to be the start of the Rogues or something. I don't know.
I think it's just a title. I don't think it's actually going to be like an actual. I don't think it's actually going to be like someone's going to be like, "You're a Rogue One." Or, I mean, they could though, but
Rogue One, Rogue
definitely
Two, Rogue Three.
possible.
It would help us it would stop us from having to remember all the names if there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But that's not why I fear. I just like the
Oh,
name
that
for the
could it could
squadron.
be code names. Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want them to be like just everything kind of characters.
Right.
But that's just me. So
Yeah,
Maybe
but I don't think it's
I'm
referring
sure.
to squadron at all. It's just a title. Just a title. But yeah, that's the trailer. That's the trailer.
yes, it was. I think it was
trailer.
very
Say
good. Good
teaser,
teaser.
sorry.
Good teaser. Didn't tell
It's a
show
good
us
teaser.
everything, but it also wasn't
As a teaser
completely
should.
insubstantial.
I think
Yeah.
Star Wars is the one franchise that can allow themselves to do that. Like while like another studio is like, no, we have to like let people know what they're gonna see, or like they
Yeah.
can like get away with like not showing much. Like even Force Awakens was really good about like not showing what the full movie was going to be about.
I mean, they could just show us nothing at all, and people would still go and watch it. I mean, that's just the Star Wars
Yeah.
power, you know. Oh, it's Star Wars. I will watch it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's basically how it works. So everything else is just extra. But I like how they didn't, go overboard or just give us nothing. I felt like it was the
Right.
perfect amount.
Right. And also I thought the teaser would have been, since this is the first teaser, I thought it would have been more like the first Force Awakens teaser where it was just images kind of a thing. They actually like,
Yeah.
it was pretty much a trailer. Like the length was like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know why it's called a teaser. Just like, first trailer, like, and you included story beats in there too. So like, but I think officially, no, even officially, I think aren't like in the studio system isn't like a teaser less than a minute.
I wouldn't know. I would imagine it'd be something time-wise though, rather than.
So I don't know what technically I think this would mean called a teaser.
There's definitely a limit, but I don't know.
I
what it
know there's
is.
a limit for what a teaser is and not. But
Yeah.
But hey, that was it. All right, cool. Shall we move on to what we want to do in the future with
I would agree. There's
the
not much more we can talk about the trailer.
club?
Yeah, I mean, to the club.
Let's not call it the club.
The club. Wow.
Go, Evan. Explain what we want to do.
Legends live.
I think that sets it up right there. We want to talk about Legends books, specifically the good ones, in a sort of what did Matt refer to as a?
He said book club.
Yeah, book club.
Did he really say book club? I
He
forget.
did, yes, but let's not call it that. But similar
The
approach.
council book club. Basically, we want to talk about really good Legends books that you guys want to see us talk about too. So if there are any books in particular you want to see us review or cover, tell us and we'll do it. That's pretty much all there is to say.
Yeah, comics as well too. If you guys want to do comic books,
Legends related.
Yeah,
yeah, and the way we will do it is that every week we'll take out like maybe not like one chapter, but maybe like a few chapters, enough that it's like not too much, but enough, and we'll discuss like the
What we
first three
like about
chapters or the first, and we'll just discuss just the story in itself, like the progression of whatever the characters are at that point, or storylines or anything. I was gonna say something else and I forgot. I was gonna say something else and I completely blanked. But basically that's pretty much it.
Your
And then
suggestions.
yeah.
Yeah.
until you do that, and if it's like comic books, then we would do it like per issue or something like that, until it's complete. And it'll be more of like a more consistent thing.
Yes,
so that we can
actually keep putting videos out rather than every other month or even less.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be putting out more videos. We now have a lot of more free time, each of us, so we can do that. And again, we really, really, really want people to start or keep
more aware
the legends alive, basically, because I don't like the fact. Well, none of us like the fact that it's kind of getting left by the wayside, and this is a way to keep it here without, completely ignoring the new stuff as well. So, yeah.
Show everyone why we appreciate it.
Yeah. why we rage about the cancellation
or
the
certain
deletion.
things. Yeah. Again, that's the whole conversation. I can go on about some of the things that happen.
But we will be sharing our thoughts and our opinions on different things that you suggest. Try not to suggest the obvious ones, like, for example, the Thrawn trilogy, because they will be definitely covered just by default.
Thrawn, Shatterpoint, all that stuff.
All of the best of the best. You can suggest them if you want, but try to look for some.
Oh yeah, we didn't explain that part. Yes, it's gonna be based on voting. So like, basically, just put in comic book series or novel, and then you guys just vote on which ones you want to see.
Just put the name,
and then we'll look at them.
Yeah.
Vote for
just the name. You don't have to do it. Yeah. So, like, for instance, if you wanted to suggest Dark Rendezvous or Splinters of the Mind, whatever, you just put.
Just type in the name, and
we will see.
The more requests we get, the more inclined we'll be to take a look at it.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
We will also be going back. We kind of never really started it. Trying to introduce a little more stable format again, so with comments and some maybe quick fire versus rounds and stuff that people enjoyed before but kind of got left behind. We'll be trying to reintroduce that as well, so leave questions for us to use, because otherwise we have no comments to draw on in the first place. So yeah, do that.
So I think that'll be good. I think that'll be a consistent schedule if we have our whatever we're calling this thing.
We'll think of a name.
Book club, whatever we're gonna call it.
Someone leave a name suggestion too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good job, Evan.
Yeah.
Yes, leave a name suggestion for that, and we'll have a consistent today we're talking about this and the whatever we're gonna call it, and we're gonna do our maybe a news story, comments, and versus round or some sort of game, something game related. Maybe not every week it'll be the versus round or whatever we're gonna call it.
Yeah.
But just whatever game we could,
something trivia based, maybe we're gonna play Star Wars trivia, or some things, activities.
How tall is Darth Vader?
Yeah, so that's how we'll end off every podcast with a game, some sort of Star Wars game.
Yeah, hopefully,
and that'll be cool, consistent thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
We're doing our best, people. We're
doing our best. Yeah.
And I think probably if our next one is our consistent schedule thing, we can reveal stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
We can. Yes. Stuff.
Yes.
We will be revealing stuff. So look out for that.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah. But we're rambling now, so we'll leave you in peace and hope you enjoyed this trailer review. Until next time, which will not be a long time away, honest. Ready for bidding you adieu? That's not my thing. I still haven't found a thing. Give me a thing, people.
They left suggestions. You never looked at them. I told you.
I did. I didn't like many of them. Yeah. But anyway, goodbye.
Oh boy, Evan Nova 95. We hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys later.
Antoine Vanderlei, peace, love, and may the force be with you always.